Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a vlog and I'm going to talk about natural birth versus epidural. Really can't speak to the natural birth because I didn't have one. Both my births were with epidural, but that wasn't going to be the case. So for my first pregnancy, all along I thought I was going to do natural. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I asked a lot of questions. I wrote it on my birth plan. Natural. No, I don't want any medicine. I don't want any epidurals. I don't want anything like that. I heard horrible stories about the epidural. For instance, I've had heard that people can become paralyzed. I've had heard that you have back pain for the rest of your life. That the area where the injection goes is sensitive forever. And those things scared me. No. And also had heard, I don't know if this is an old wives' tale, but that in the winter it hurts really, like your back hurts and that area specifically hurts really bad. So of course I was scared. You can have a birth plan up to the day of. Take your little paper with you, but when you're there in bed with pain, it's a total different story. That birth plan goes out the window and you start to think about like, okay, how do I make myself comfortable? I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday that I was admitted to the hospital. Until that day, till right there, I still wanted it to be natural. I wanted to feel my baby come out. And I remember my doctor coming in and she asked me, do you have any pain? And I said, no. At that point, I'm like, no, I want natural birth. I have no pain. This is going to be easy. Little did I know. So because I had no pain, no contractions, I was in an opening, she gave me Pitocin. So she started the Pitocin and I remember, I don't know how long it passed or went by, and she came back and she's like, you still don't have any pain? And I remember I was with my mom and we were laughing about something and she looks at me and she says, I'm going to wipe that smile off your face. So I got scared. I'm like, what do you mean? So anyhow, she upped the Pitocin. And I can't remember how long after, I mean, it's been almost 4 years that I had my first child, I started to feel contractions. Now, the first contractions were like period cramps. Mild, it's like, yeah, I can take these. Yeah, okay, this is okay. And then they started to go up in pain and go up. And I was still like, no, natural. I remember my mom was there, and of course, Latina moms will always scare you. So she's looking at me and she's looking at the monitor and I was like, okay, mom, massage my back, please. And she's like, oh, this is nothing. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, does it really get worse than this? Because it's pretty painful at this point. The doctor comes in and she looks at me. She's like, do you still think you want a natural birth? And I was like, yeah, I think so. She said, okay, I'll come back and ask you in a couple of hours. It's like, okay, whatever. But my God, those contractions were getting harder and more painful and they lasted longer. And I remember I was on the phone with my sister, we were texting and she was like, hold off, you're gonna be okay, just keep doing what you're doing, just breathe through your contractions, you're going to be fine. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm a trooper, I'll do it. I remember my mom massaging me, my husband massaging me. My husband was pacing back and forth because he doesn't like seeing me in pain and he gets all like, what do I do? So I kept looking at the monitor like, okay, these are getting stronger. Okay, my mom didn't help by scaring me. So I remember at one point I was like, no, I don't think I could do it. The pain was getting so bad that I called my husband. I called him over and I said, you know what? I don't think I can take this pain. He said, okay, let's call our doctor. And we needed the epidural. So he calls the doctor and says, hey, you know what? She's in pain. She needs to have an epidural. So then my husband's like, wait. We first before we get this done, we need to know what are the side effects? What's the danger? I mean, what do we need to worry about? This person looks straight at my husband and says, she could die. No, at that point I was like, wait, no, if I could die, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to die. Like you're worried about like your baby. You're worried about yourself. Yes, I saw a lot of videos. Yes, I read a lot of books. However, nothing prepares you for what's about to happen. Nothing. My husband's like, well, okay, no, let's talk about this. And she was like, well, didn't you read the pamphlet that we gave you? And he's like, yes, but I need you to explain it to me. I don't remember. Finally, we all decide, okay, let's sign the paperwork. We'll be fine. We're fine. Let's just trust in God and we're fine. She gives me the epidural. Easy, right? There's just a pinch where they put the numbing cream or whatever it is that they put back there. They put the needle. Done. You're done. I was like, okay. She's like, in a couple of minutes, you're going to start feeling numbness from your waist down. I was like, okay. Regret having the epidural. The only reason why I do, for me, it backfired. So I had the epidural. It was started to wear off. And I called the nurse and I said, hey, this is starting to wear off. Like, I need more. She said, you can self-administer. There's this little button that you press and you self-administer and you should be fine. So every time you feel that it's wearing off, you press it. Press it once. I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I go and I press it once. 30 minutes later, probably, I felt the worst pain on my upper back that I've ever felt in my life. It was like as if all my bones were breaking one by one, that someone was sitting on my chest. I couldn't breathe. The pain on my back, I couldn't lay on my back. It was the most horrible experience I had ever experienced in pain. At that, I was screaming for help. Like, I needed someone to help me because it felt awful. So nurses come running in, my doctor comes running in. No one can figure out what is wrong with me. No one knows what's going on. They've asked me, how many times did you press this? I said, once, as you told me. I was just screaming. I was screaming for my husband to help me. Somebody please help me. The pain was so bad that I didn't know, like, I regretted it. I wanted this out of my body. But then the nurse says, we can give you morphine for the pain. Of course, at this point, I'm scared because I'm thinking that's going to affect my baby. And they said, no, the baby should be fine. You should deliver in a couple of hours, so you should be fine. Pain was still there, but it wasn't as bad as it when it started because they had given me morphine. They had put cold packs on my back, and that was helping me, but I couldn't lay on my back to have my baby. So I had to lay on my side, push when I was ready to push. But it started to wear out. So by the time I was ready to, 36 hours later, by the time I was ready to deliver my baby, I could feel everything except for my legs. So I can feel my contractions. I can feel my baby coming out. I felt the ring of fire. I felt all these things that I wasn't supposed to feel when I had the epidural, plus the pain in my back. Had I known, and I'm going to say this, but had I known that my pain was going to be like that, pressing the button, I would have never done it. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm not sure, but they were saying that normally they were telling me that maybe the medication went up instead of going down. That makes no sense to me. They couldn't explain why. They've never seen a case like this before. Nothing. I was the first one and they didn't know what to do but to inject me with morphine. I can tell you that the pain lasted about a month, and it wasn't an extreme pain. It was just like, it was maybe because the pain was so bad, I was sore and I couldn't lay on my back. I was uncomfortable with everything I did. It just hurt so bad. So you would think that because I went through that for my second time, I would say, no epidural, I'm going to go and do natural because that's what I wanted to begin with. No. My second time, I knew what I was going for. I knew what to expect. So I decided to get an epidural. Thinking the first time is a fluke. Nobody ever has gone through this except for me. My body's weird, maybe it was a reaction to something. I don't know. So I went in there saying, no natural birth today. I'm going to do an epidural. I wish if I could go back, I would have definitely done a natural birth with my second child. Anyway, when it was time to get the epidural, when they were trying to administer it, it wouldn't go in. Like, they tried going in and they would just pinch a nerve and my whole back would hurt so bad that they went up one, and then they tried to go in there, and I can feel the specialist shake her hand when she was trying to go in there. And I was scared. I was so scared, but I was already there, and contractions were going as she was doing this, and they were getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I remember she went up 3 times, because the second time, when she went up the second time, I just screamed out of pain because I have bulged discs. So she poke one of those, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible pain. So she went up one. She's like, okay, it's in. I mean, it hurt a little bit. She said it's in. Anyway, she put the epidural in. Then I was comfortable. Same thing happened. Started to wear off. I pressed the button. Pain in my back galore. However, it wasn't as bad as the first time. I started to hyperventilate. I started to feel the pain on my back, and I was just like, no, this is happening again, and I don't want this. And I remember the specialist coming in, and she's like, I read in your chart that this happened to you last time. Do you want morphine? I was like, yes, give me anything. It hurts so bad. I regretted it instantly. Again, I didn't think that was going to happen to me. She said, if I give you more epidural, the pain may get worse. So what do you want to do? I said, no, just leave me alone. Let it wear off. At this point, I don't care. I just leave it alone. I don't want the pain to get as bad as it used to be. By the time I was ready to have my baby, I remember I felt everything. So I felt, again, contractions. I felt the need to push. I felt my baby coming out. I felt tears. So in essence, I had a natural birth. So because I felt everything, but up to the whole contractions, I skipped that part with the pain in my back. But I felt everything. I felt it, but it wasn't as painful as it would have been had I not gotten the epidural. But you get one thing for another, I got the epidural, but it backfired. It hurt. My back hurts, and sometimes I feel that pain and I just have to lay down or take some Advil or Aleve. But the area where the needle actually went in, that area is still very sensitive. So if I lay on it incorrectly, or if I lay on a pillow, or if my son is playing with me and hits me there for some reason, it hurts. It hurts. It's tender. I can't touch it. That area hurts. So for those of you that are thinking about the epidural or natural birth, I can't speak to natural birth. I should have done it with my second child. I would suggest that you do more research about what can potentially happen other than, you could die or you can become paralyzed. Those are very important things, and those are things to consider when you're trying to think, okay, should I do natural birth or should I do epidural? And also, if you can research what's in it that maybe your body is allergic to, maybe it can trigger something in your body, and then you get the pain that I did. Again, I've never heard of anybody else having that type of pain in their back as bad as I had it. If any of you have had that pain, please comment below. Let me know, please, that I'm not alone. The epidural versus natural birth. I can't speak to natural birth because unfortunately I didn't go that route. I went the epidural thinking that it was going to be all hunky-dory, but it wasn't. It was painful. I hope that you've found this video informative just a little bit. Again, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. Everybody takes medication differently. Everybody has a different type of tolerance, a level of tolerance, pain tolerance. I don't. Mine threshold is very low. I should have done natural birth with my second child, knowing what I knew, but I didn't. I took a chance and it backfired again. So there's something in the epidural that I'm allergic to that I did not take the time to research. I should have, but I didn't. If you have any questions about anything else, please let me know. I know I rambled for so long, but I was just it's been so long that I was just trying to think back of what exactly happened and why I chose what I chose. Do your research. Again, you're going to go with a mindset and you're going to go in with a birth plan, but keep in mind that things change once you're in there, especially if it's your first time. You don't know what to expect. You're scared. You just want everything to be okay. And having a team, I had a really good nurse. My doctor's amazing. So having a team that cares, that's gentle with you, that is listening to you helps a lot. Because they make you feel at ease. You feel like, okay, I'm well taken care of. They went in there and took care of me like this. Again, do research, and do whatever you think your body can do, whatever is best for you and your body and your child. So with that said, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions, please put them down below. Let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload another video. So for now, that's it.